Well, good evening, everyone. We just finished the first installment of Sacred Pathways by Gary Thomas. And unfortunately, we did not see Gary Thomas tonight.
Did not.
I led off with some discussion. We did an assessment, and then we were supposed to watch the video, but the assessment took a long time. And anyways, if you're wondering what the assessment's about, you can come next week. And it's assessing the prayer style that you are most comfortable with. And it's very, very uniquely done in that you cannot make it say something. It's one of those tests that is very reliable.
There's no right answer.
Yeah, and you can't pre-configure your responses to equal where you think you fall.
Right.
And so you wind up with 9 selections in the end. One of them is a naturalist, another is a sensate, there's the ascetic, there's a traditionalist, there's 9 in all, and you need to come out and see this. But the truth is, we all have one certain way that we enjoy, that's the key word, enjoy relating to God. And unfortunately, over the years, decades, maybe millennia, we've had preachers and authors try to convince us that there's only one right way to pray in order to be effective. And I think we discovered a little bit tonight, without watching the introductory video, that we do have certain ways we like to pray.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And you also mentioned formulas,
Oh, yeah.
that you try to create these things. Those always messed me up because I think, wait, I just went out of order, and you try to go back and correct it.
Well, and if I created a formula, it would be my style of praying.
Right, yeah.
That if you really want to pray, you need to get outside, enjoy God's beauty, His creation, and I feel close.
Yeah.
I feel close when I'm outside.
But if I don't like being outside and relating to God in
that
that,
doesn't
way,
work. Yeah.
then
I was sitting next to somebody tonight that said, yeah, nature does nothing for me.
Nathan. Nature
That's
does
great.
nothing.
Nature does nothing for me.
Wow.
And likewise, stick me in a room in total solitude, and I'll go crazy. You know.
With like solemn music playing or something like that.
Actually, they call it in prisons. They call it solitary confinement.
Wow, okay. You wouldn't do well in prison.
Yeah. You know? So
Yeah.
I was a naturalist,
Yeah.
which means again I get the most enjoyment walking or running and talking to God at the same time. And
So my highest was naturalist, and my second was intellectual.
that was me. That was me too.
Really?
Yeah, we got more in common than we thought.
Wow, that's actually scary.
It really is.
For you or me, we don't know. But yeah, so, and you made a clarification. If you scored high in intellectualism, it doesn't mean you're a genius or you're super intelligent. It means that,
we see that.
well, yeah, that's clear. But that you basically, when you get understanding of who God is and what He's like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that grasp of knowledge, information
Knowledge.
inspires you
Yeah.
to be able to,
And then how'd you come out? What
Mine
your
was
highest
enthusiast.
score? Enthusiast,
It definitely had,
which means
kind of wrapped around with music or celebratory type
Worship.
Yeah, worship.
Yeah.
That's kind of where, and it's funny. I mean, when you see that, and then you see the final, you think, yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that definitely. You probably think that with the naturalist.
And you know what was neat tonight? Because, Gary in the next 3 weeks, will describe the naturalist, the
Activist, the
activist,
caregiver, all those.
He'll cover all those. But without anybody really having definitions, they knew their style
Yeah, yeah,
of,
for sure.
of how they enjoy interacting with God. Because it is that natural.
Right.
Yeah.
But doesn't it become just a heavy burden when I have to I have to interact with God the way you like to?
Right.
Or we're all unique.
Yeah. And there are, there's a certain level of we all, on a weekly basis, gather in a room and we sing.
Yeah.
There's some conformity that
Yeah.
just happens being a part of a group or a body. But it is nice to know that God gives you room to be who He's made you to be.
Right.
But
And connect with Him
at the
in that
close
way.
of a service, right? I want people to come to the altar. And yet there are some people who will never leave their seats.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? In one sense, it's okay because they don't feel the compulsion to come up and kneel in conformity with however many are there. At the same time, you do kind of wonder, could they change location and take a step of faith and maybe something special would happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't have to use it as guilt.
No, it's true.
Guilt doesn't get the job done.
Right.
It's about
It doesn't.
relationship, not rules.
Yeah, exactly. You were talking about it, in a husband and wife relationship.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't you rather they just want to be with you because
Yeah.
they enjoy your company rather than an obligation?
Yeah, I gotta give her Friday night. You know, that's our night. Our date night is Friday night. You know, it needs to be from the heart.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
not an act of obligation. And so a lot of what we call spiritual disciplines, devotions, prayer, Bible reading, church attendance. Sometimes it does take just raw discipline to gut through a low time in your walk with God. But it shouldn't be that way all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you should really enjoy Him. He wants to be
Yeah.
enjoyed. He created us for His pleasure, and He wants us to enjoy Him too.
Amen.
You know, so
That's really true.
anyways, I guess we can wrap this one up, but really hope to see you next Wednesday night. This is great stuff, and I want to stress to you how liberating this is, and I found real freedom, you know, looking ahead at Gary Thomas's video series and the study guide that comes with it, which you won't get, but you'll get me every Wednesday night. We'll have a great time. Hope to see you next Wednesday night, and God bless.